Hi, this is Sarah with Posh Pooch Designs, and I have Maximo with me today. He is modeling our Christmas gingerbread bandana. This is perfect for dogs and cats and all kinds of pets. Doesn't he look handsome? He's wearing the traditional colors, the red and green with the white frosting. Hey, Rosie, come here. Come here, big girl. All right, here's Rosie. She's wearing the non-traditional colors with bright pink and green. Do I have cookies in my hand? Okay, let me set them down. This bandana is on my blog, and I'll put that comment I'll put that pattern in the comments. They're chasing cookies. Love my pooches. Anyway, Christmas gingerbread bandana for dogs and cats. Well, this is our pattern today, and it'll be in the free pattern is just being released today, and the blog link will be in the comments. All right, let's see what we need. You're going to need a nice brown color. This is Cafe Latte from Red Heart Yarns, worsted weight super saver. It's the perfect color for our gingerbread. You're also going to need, for our demonstration, we're going to be using red sparkle, green sparkle, and white sparkle. And these are, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, and they're all worsted weight 4. Now, as you can see with Rosie's, we can use any worsted weight yarn that we want. You can make your Christmas gingerbread bandana any colors. You know, you don't have to go with traditional. It's just fun. And this is a perfect photo prop. If you're going to do family stuff, this is a perfect photo prop. Okay, so we talked about our yarn. We're going to need an H hook today. And this is our my trusty favorite purple H hook. It's the one I always love. Okay, you're also going to need a needle for weaving in those ends. And your trusty scissors. Okay, and one other thing that you're probably going to need is a tape measure. Make sure you measure your dog's neck so you know what size that you're going to need. The pattern comes in 3 sizes. Extra small is 8-inch, small is 10-inch, medium is, wait a minute, I said that wrong. Let me look on my notes. I want to make sure I give you the right measurements here. Yes, that's correct. 8 is extra small, 8 inches, 10 inches is small, 12 inches is medium. And also, I'll give you instructions on how to make it a little bit bigger so that it can work for any size dog. All right, are you ready to get started? Let's do it. Let me move my screen down. All right. Now, we're going to start with our bandana. Move my yarn out of the way there and give us a little room here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to chain 4. I'm going to pop on my glasses so I can see a little better. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to put 4 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will give us a total of 5 double crochets. All right, so we've got our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets for a total of 5. Oops. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I tried to put 2 loops on my hook there. And we're going to increase by putting 1 double crochet in the same chain as the chain, in the same stitch as the chain 3. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then put 2 double crochets in the top of that chain 3 that is our first double crochet. And that will give us a total of 7. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be increasing each row by 2. 1, 2, 3. We're going to increase by 1 here because we're going to put 1 double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 3, and then we're going to put a double crochet in each stitch across. There we go. And now we're going to put 2 double crochets in the top of that chain 3 that works as our double crochet. 1. Get in there. Sometimes I don't want to go in. All right, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So now we have 3 rows. You can see we're starting to get the shape of our triangle. So we've chained 3. We're going to put 1 double crochet in the same stitch as that double crochet. Then we're going to put 1 double crochet in each stitch across. There we go. And now we're going to put 2 double crochets in the top of that chain 3 that acts as our first double crochet. Get in there. Every time I go to put that second one in there, it wants to hang up. All right, so now we have 4 rows. Now we're going to do the extra small size, so we need to do 6 rows. So let's do 2 more rows. 1 double crochet in the same chain as the chain 3. 1 double crochet in each double crochet across. Whoops. Every time I try to go fast, I get caught. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to put 2 double crochets in the last 2 double crochets. Just lost a fuzz ball. Let's get rid of that. All right, 1, 2, 3. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need to do 1 more row to make the extra small size. So we're going to do again 1 double crochet in the same chain, same stitch as the chain 3. Put a little yarn here. Alrighty, almost there. This is a little bit of the boring part, but it's okay. Come on, buddy. Come on. They're wanting to sit behind me. They love to sit behind me, my dogs, my pooches, when I'm doing a video. They think they need to be held all the time, so I let them sit behind me on the chair. All right, 1 more double crochet. Now, this next row is very important. We're just going to chain 1. So we have our 6 rows. If we were doing, this is extra small. If we were doing a small, we would do 2 more rows. If we were doing a medium, we'd do 2 more rows. And what you would do to make it even bigger, if you want to make it for a St. Bernard or a horse, just continue to add an extra chain at the beginning, or extra double crochet at the beginning and an extra double crochet at the end of each row, and you will continue your V out to as large as you want it. Now this is where we skip down to row 11, and we're going to be stitching in the back loops, and you can see you have a front loop and a back loop. Now for understanding, your back loop is always a loop that is facing away, and your front loop is a loop that is facing to you. And on this row, we're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the back loops. So we're going to go in that back loop and do a single crochet. And the reason that this is important is when we come back and put our icing on, when we come across the front of the bandana, we're going to put the icing on those front loop stitches, and that's going to give us a place to stitch this row on right here of our bandana. So we're stitching single crochets in the back loop. Now we do not do an increase here either. This is just straight across, no increase. So depending on what row you ended on is the amount of stitches that you will have. Okay, so now we've done that row. You can see the ridge right there. The next row is the ties. For the extra small, we're going to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so we're making the ties. We chain 15, and we're going to slip stitch across here, and we're going to slip stitch all across here, and then we're going to chain 15 again. And I've got one over here that I've already done. There's our ridge, and here's our ties. We single crocheted, we chained our 15, we slip stitched back across, and then we chained our other 15, and then we single crocheted all the way across again. Now, in the pattern, I have you single crocheting 3 rows across here. Let me show you on this other one, just so that you get an idea of what I'm talking about. These right here is, you'll have 3 single crochets. Now, for the smaller sizes, you may just want to do 1 or 2 because it depends on how thick your dog neck is. And if you have a tiny dog, this width might be too much. So that you're going to have to kind of gauge. This is 1 row of single crochet. This one is 3. I kind of recommend 1 row for the extra small, 2 rows for the small, and 3 rows for the medium size. Just because it just gets too thick to tie a knot to slip onto a really, really tiny dog. Okay? All right, so now we're going to do the frosting. And what you're going to do, here's the ridge that we put on here. And what you're going to do, I'm going to turn it sideways. And you're going to join your yarn by putting your hook through the top stitch on this side. We're switching to white yarn, so we're going to put a little stitch in there just to hold it on there. And then you're going to do 2 single crochets, and we're working down the side so that you want to try to single crochet evenly, putting your stitches together. And then on your 3rd single crochet, we're going to do a peacock. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Here's my single crochet. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Make sure my yarn's out here. And then we're going to put our hook through the top of that single crochet we just did and pull a loop through. And pull it right through there. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 3, or the next, make 3 single crochets. I can't say the next 3 stitches because we're single crochet evenly. Let me put that next single crochet on there. Can you see how we made that bump? We'll do another one. We did 2 single crochets, and now we're doing a 3rd one. 1, 2, 3 chains. Then you put your hook through the top of your single crochet and pull it through those 2 loops, and then the loop on your hook, and then do 2 more single crochets. 1, 2, and that just gives us a little bit of a frosting-y look. Now you may not end up with your point at the hook, and you want to try to, but if you don't, it really doesn't matter because you're just the point of your frosting, I mean, at the point of your bandana. We're just trying to make it look a little frosting-y, and if you don't get that all the way down there, that's quite all right. And just so that you understand where I'm putting my hook, I'm going to show you again. Chain 3, you put your hook through the top and then through that next loop of the white. We're putting our frosting. You're going to put a loop on your hook like that, pull through those 2 loops and the loop that's on your hook, and then go into your next spot where you want to put your frosting. Okay. Chain 3, go through the top and the side. Now we're going to do 3 more. I like using the white sparkly. You don't have to use sparkly, of course. I just think it looks so much more Christmassy, holiday-ish, festive. This would be a lot of fun if you got gingerbread hats for the kids or your family and then put this on the dog for a Christmas picture. I think that would just be awesome. Now we are doing 3 new patterns this summer for our Christmas in July, and all 3 of them are going to have something to do with gingerbread. So I thought that would be fun as a theme. You can see how the frosting is starting to move around. We're almost back up here so I can show you how to go across the ridge. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go in, pull that loop up, and then 3 more single crochets. 1, 2, almost there. I'm going to do 1 more. 2, 3. The truth is, when it comes to doing something like this, where you're evenly crocheting around, you're just going to have to let your creative juices flow a little bit. You can't be concentrating on number of stitches. You just want to try to make it look pretty. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 right there. And now you can see I'm at this ridge. So what I do is I bend this over. Make sure you don't get your yarn caught. There we go. Okay, so I bend it over so that the edge, which is our front posts of row number 11, is where we're going to be stitching. And we're doing exactly the same thing. We're just going to be doing it in these stitches now. So, where'd it go? There it is. There we go. 1, 2, and then the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. Pull some yarn out. Go through those top stitches, or the top stitch. Pull a loop through. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pull your loop through. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And pull a loop through. Now, if you're a little concerned about doing that particular stitch, you can just do single crochets if you want. It'll look pretty too. And also practice. Sometimes in crochet, it's easy to know where to put the hook. It's very difficult to explain it. Okay, so we're back on it. We're on our last stitch. I'm going to put 1 single crochet in there. And then I'm going to join to that first stitch. Just like that. And I'm going to tie off. And I'm going to tie off. And what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to pull it to the back so it's out of our way. And I'll weave those stitches in later. So there's your frosting. Isn't that cute? All right. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to decide how many buttons we want. I've got 2 green ones made. And I usually put the opposites like that. And let me show you how to make the little button. It's really super simple. We'll make it with this red. Let me move that over a little bit. We've just got yarn everywhere today, don't we? All right. Now, all you're going to do, chain 2. Roll my yarn out of here a little bit. All right, we need to chain 3, not 2, chain 3. And then in the second chain from the hook, we're going to put 5 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then join to that first single crochet. And that's it. Now make sure when you're cutting that you give yourself a nice long piece to sew it on with. Okay, so there's our button. That's our third button. Lots of strings. All right, now the last piece of it is our bow tie. And I believe we just do a small little bow tie of 10. So, all we're going to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My yarn over here. It's doing a dance. Okay, and our bow tie is just basically rows of single crochet. And we're going to do 5 rows. Chain 1. And again, if you feel like this is too big a bow tie for the tiny bandana, you can always make your bow smaller. It's kind of, you know, your preference. And some dogs, you can put them in a great big bow and it's not going to bother them. Other dogs, that bow's going to drive them crazy. So it just depends. I always think of it this way. I'm not going to leave this bandana on my dog all day. It's either we're going to a fun little party or people are coming over for a party and I'm dressing them up and they just have it on for a short amount of time, or it's for a picture. Now, another thing that you can do is use real buttons and use satin ribbons for the bows. That's totally acceptable. Just remember, dogs are chewers. And if the button is small enough where it can tear it off the bandana and swallow it and choke on it, that's not a very good idea. So it's kind of your discretion of what you think. Some dogs don't chew on anything. My Rosie is a chewer. My Maximo is not. So, you know, every dog is different. Okay, so we're doing 10 single crochets. Chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. And then doing this for 5 rows. And this is the 5th row. So I'll whip this up here. And then I'll show you how to make the bow. All right. Now, rather than tying off, I discovered after making a whole bunch of bows, scratch my head, okay, to slip stitch on the back side of the bow to the center. We've got 10 single crochets, so I'm just going to do 5 like that, and then I'm going to tie off, and I'm going to give myself a nice long piece of yarn because I'm going to use this to make the bow as well as attach it to my bandana. So I have this one here that needs to be worked in. I'm just going to pull it to the back, and I'll use my needle and weave that in after a bit, and I'm just going to make it short so it's not in the way. Okay. So now we have a rectangle. What you do is you pinch it in with this piece that we slip stitched. You wrap it around a couple of times nice and tight. And then on the back side, oh, there's my hook. I was like, where did my hook go? On the back side, pull your hook through that center and just pull that yarn through and just like that. And now you have a nice little bow. Okay, so how do we put this together? What you do, pretend I've weaved in all the ends. So here's our bow, our bandana. You take the bow, and with this piece of string that's left in the center, you attach it right up here by, here's your string. We're just going to go under and come back around just like that, and then you can tie it off back here. And these you want to push down so it kind of looks like you're frosting, and then you can decide which one of the buttons that you want. You're going to weave in your short end, and then you have your long end to sew on. There we go. Thread your needle and just decide your placement. Now, I like to do green, red, green so that they're not next to each other, but it's totally up to you. And I'm just going to show you. I place it on there like that, and I just stitch through, going around the edge of the button, because it's decorative. It doesn't have to do anything. It just has to sit there and look cute. Like that, all the way around, and then I just tie it off in the back, and I do that with each one. And let me show you on our big one. We've added a button up, bow tie up here. We've got our buttons that we made. We sewed them in place. And the truth is, if you want more than 3 buttons, you can definitely do more than 3 buttons. So we made, this is the largest size, the medium. It actually was a little too big for Maximo, but I put it on him anyway. It just depends on how far down their neck or if they're going to wear them on their back that you want them to go. So you sew on your bow tie, you sew on your buttons, and then this is the way I tie it. I'm going to show you that real quick. I just take the 2 ends, and after I know how big his neck is, I just tie a little knot like this in the back. And then all I have to do is slide it on him. Is he behind me? Come here, Max. Let me show them how to do this. I'm going to bring the screen back up. Hi again. Got my glasses on. All right. Come here, Max. See, he's all naked. And all you do is I just set it on him like this. I usually use 2 hands, so. And it just slides right on. He can wear it on his back. And see, it's a little long for him. He really needs the smaller size. And there you have it. Our Christmas gingerbread dog bandana. Well, I hope you'll give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot more Christmas fun coming for our Christmas in July. Thank you.